Wow. We're in sync.
Do you know any NSYNC songs?
I have an in-syncing feeling you'd ask me that.
Make the joke, you got to follow up.
Tell me why?
Wrong. First off, the song is I Want It That Way, and the band is the Backstreet Boys. It's in F sharp minor. Anyway, this is Ed Uncle Hat. You're listening to Time to Lean, and here's a song with John and Phil, and they're going to have a beverage and talk, and then sing a song about something they talked about. I was in a hurry.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably right.
It's one of those bands.
Yeah.
And that might not be the title. If you know any NSYNC songs, feel free to comment on our Time to Lean Facebook page.
Or now we're on Blue Sky as well.
And we're on Blue Sky. Blue skies. Hey, man. How you doing? Yeah, sorry I'm a little late there, John. I had to make a little room on my hard drive. I didn't want this to crash.
It's not a euphemism.
While we were recording. I didn't want it to crash.
No, that's...
And
you got to have room.
You know, nobody probably needs 10 gig of Brian Eno on their hard drive.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I just moved it to a external hard drive. Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
So what's going on?
Hey, man. I overdid it a little bit last night. Yeah. Oh, well. Fridays are, sometimes it was another long week and my brain was fried and just kind of like,
yeah,
I'm gonna have some beverages. Ugh.
Yeah, I had a couple of healthy-sized Manhattans last night.
Yeah, I'll just say I had a couple of unhealthy sized Manhattans.
Well, yeah, these were. Well, it started out badly.
Much like this episode.
Because on the way home from work, I stopped at one of my favorite stores, Liquor Boy, which ought to be a sponsor.
Oh, if only. We got to figure that out.
And one of they have deals, and one of them right now is the High West Double Rye. They have the 1.75, the handle-sized one for $37.
What?
That's a cheap price for that stuff.
Oh, that was hard. That would be hard not to get.
And so, yeah, that's going home with me, and makes a lot of Manhattans.
Yeah, and we both like John and I both discovered that we like our Manhattans neat, which means half dry vermouth and half.
Oh, you mean perfect?
Perfect. Oh no.
Neat is when you don't. Yeah, you drink whiskey without anything in it.
Oops.
I
may have ordered that incorrectly at a bar the other day.
Oh, okay.
I may have said neat, and he looked at me kind of funny. You want it neat and on the rocks?
Oh. You broke my mind.
Perfect.
Perfect
yes.
is good. It depends on the whiskey I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true.
I more often do a perfect if I'm making my Manhattan with bourbon. If I'm using rye, I often do them with sweet only.
Yeah.
Conventional. I find that's the better balance, but I really do enjoy the half and half. Not
yeah,
not the dairy kind, but
it's okay to yeah. Don't put that in there.
With the sweeter bourbon. I think that's a good mix as well.
I think there's a drink called the Brando that's like Scotch and
there is
cream.
A Brando. Yes, I saw that somewhere.
Ugh. Whatever.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff.
I would expect nothing less from Brando.
That YouTuber guy Anders, who we sometimes watch.
Yeah.
He just did a one where he taste tested a whole bunch of these pre-made cocktails.
Oh, I think that showed up in my YouTube.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them really sucked, as you can predict.
I think, well, you know how it starts yapping at you even before you click on it, but I think
I hate that, yeah.
that preview thing. I think I got a little
avoid
bit
that.
of, yeah. So there. So
Oh,
speaking
okay,
of which,
yeah.
that's what I'm having. A perfect Manhattan. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we forgot to say, what are you drinking?
What's the booze in your?
Oh, I just got Evan Williams Bottled in Bond.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's fine for a Manhattan.
Yeah. I am actually sipping some. I've had this on the show, I think, before, as I've had it a while. This is seagrass rye. I'm having some of that.
That's good stuff.
That's that blend of different ryes with, I think it's finished in apricot brandy barrels or something like that. Really good.
I remember liking that.
Yeah, I just kind of grabbed that off the shelf. It's been a while, and I don't know. It seemed to work well after bagging a lot of leaves today.
Oh, no, the leaf bagging.
Well, this is upcoming. Next week is our last yard waste pickup of the year. So
Yeah, got to get it in.
I've tried to get as much done as I could. And yeah, it's okay. I've done better. I was out of town last weekend, so I didn't take advantage of that to do more. But
It
whatever.
was a little chilly.
It is chilly out there. Yeah, it's cold.
I actually, my neighbor helped with mine. I was making a huge. April is my oldest daughter. She's 21, but she's she's going through a nostalgic phase or something, and she wanted to have
Rake
a big
leaves?
pile. No, she did help. She did help. She wanted to make a big pile to jump in. So, and we have a lot of leaves. So,
yeah.
we were moving all the leaves to the backyard, and in this giant pile. And my neighbor Tony, he does some kind of thing where he puts them on tarp and then kind of ties them up. He said it evidently like they tie up a calf, at the ranch or something. And well, didn't you ever learn this?
You're from South Dakota. Why don't you know this?
I said, well, I worked on a ranch once, but that was just feeding them hay bale, throwing hay bales off of a truck. Dude. Yeah, they should have the dude.
Yeah, I've seen the tarp method before. I've never tried it, but
yeah, and then he takes them to someplace in St. Paul. There's like a free kind of compost place or something.
yeah, we have one of those too. It's kind of a drive, and
yeah,
I don't have a pickup.
No, I don't either.
Or a large car that I want to get the interior all dirty. So
well, no,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. He did it for me, so that was nice.
No, that's really, really nice of him.
Yeah, he's he's a good guy. I won't say that he probably is a trumper.
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
Like what, 49%?
Ding.
That's some discount.
But
You're
that
going to need a
percentage,
discount.
that percentage keeps going down and down and down. It's like I don't know why.
Well, it
people
was
are
above 50, and it keeps. Yeah,
Well, no.
it's a really small margin. It's just unfortunately, yeah.
No, I mean people are. The more he does, the less people like him. And I was
Well,
like,
no shit.
It's like you're surprised.
I know. I'm sorry. I get really the eyes just roll so far around to the back of my head when I see these reactions. But I didn't think he was going to do that, or put the sex offender in the cabinet or whatever.
No, he's one. He's convicted.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he?
It starts at the top. Yeah, I don't know why people should be surprised about any of this shit. I really think a lot of people didn't believe him. So no, he's just talking trash.
He says so many things. I mean, no one can keep up with it, and he just lies all the time.
It doesn't have to be that big a percentage of what he said for it to be awful. But I think that, especially if
lies all the time. So I thought he was lying then too.
If
but he was president before.
Yeah, and it's really magical thinking.
And short,
by
and
people.
short memories.
Yeah, definitely. And it's this, I don't want to go on this too much, but I think
I feel
people
bad
have
for bringing it up.
They have such bad sources of information. Like if you were, it's like if you were to get your political insights from this podcast. It's almost that bad.
People do get their political information from podcasts, not ours.
No, absolutely.
I mean, if anyone's getting their political information from our podcast, we're mostly rehashing something we heard on a different one.
And plus, it's really out of date.
It will be, right?
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, there'll be...
Now, Baron Trump will be president by the time we get this one out.
Or they'll find some sort of grandson of Nixon or something.
Nixon is looking better. No, wait. Did the original sign? Oh, it was Hitler that was looking better. That's
you're
Rapid
going to have to
City.
explain it, though. That was in Rapid City. The B. Frank was some kind of store.
Frank.
Was it a hardware store?
He was. It wasn't a hardware store.
No, you could get. We talked about this.
Lawnmower and small engine repair stuff.
Yeah, and you could get keys made there.
Yes, he did make keys.
Okay, that's
Mr.
right.
Frank. Yeah,
I know. We talked about him before, but that's okay. It's all new again.
Yeah,
that was probably episode
10 or something.
But he had a sign.
Yep.
When that was around? It was something to do with the Cold War or something. I don't know what.
I guess I don't.
Was
really
it related
know.
to something Russia was doing? But he had a sign that said Hitler is looking better. Mm-hmm. On your at a store.
Yeah, and this one of those signs you can put little announcements on.
So that's become an old
an inside joke for us.
When we'll change it for like whatever insert someone else's name.
Yeah, exactly. Hannibal Lecter is looking better.
Yeah. If he was alive, he'd have a cabinet position.
If he was a person, you mean?
What was
not a fictitious character?
I don't want to talk about Trump. Unfortunately, he's gonna be with us for a while.
We have a long time to talk about him, unfortunately.
But what was this thing with Hannibal Lecter? I can't listen to one of his whole
I've never
speeches.
heard a convincing reason on why he was so fixated.
I mean, he mentioned it several times.
The late great, as he called him.
He's weaving.
Well, that's part of the weave, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People like that stuff.
They just wow. He can talk for 4 hours. He has so much stamina. Mm-hmm. But he's not making any sense, or he's lying, or scaring, or threatening people.
Yeah. That's...
All right.
But hey, last thing I'll end with. At least South Dakota is going to get rid of Kristi Noem.
I don't even remember what she's being nominated for.
Oh, like the second biggest bureaucracy in the country. Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
Yeah.
She went down to the border once.
Yeah, didn't she have some dental work done?
Maybe.
Wasn't that the thing? That's what I heard.
She went down there and killed a dog.
Well, she did that
in South Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, no. She does that at home.
A
goat. Don't forget the goat.
Killing dogs since 1987. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll do a heck of a job.
I've asked multiple people. Thanks, Seagrass. I can't talk anymore. Oh, Jesus. People I know in South Dakota. So, who is your lieutenant governor? And nobody seems to know who it is.
Probably a relative of Kristi Noem.
Yeah, Krusty Noem, as one of my family members calls her. Oh,
that's wonderful.
Okay, let's stop. Oh, okay.
Right. Hey, so we're I think it's safe to say that hopefully this will be out before the Christmas holidays.
I hope so. I think we could squeeze one more in.
But this is we're recording.
This is our Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, we're recording this in November. But I was going to ask you about what you got going on as far as holiday gigs coming up. I know you got a big concert. And then you'll have all sorts of gigs, I'm sure.
Yeah, the holiday stuff kind of gets ramped up in December. A lot of musicians are very busy. There's some private parties. There's some just more ballroom dance things. This and that. A lot of them go on the same couple of weekends, so it gets tight. Yeah.
You got the MSO too.
Yeah. Our last concert before the holidays is this weekend. We do not do a holiday concert, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, everybody in there is doing gigs.
Yeah, I just think it's nice to just have one group that we can just kind of avoid having to play holiday music, because there's so much of it out there. We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of groups do, and they like that, but this one's always they've always taken off Christmas time and the summer.
Wow, that's nice.
So I avoid the two things I don't like to do in orchestra: holiday music and outdoor concerts.
There you go.
And that's great. It suits me just fine.
What's MSO stand for again?
Oh, the Metropolitan Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just a really generic kind of name.
Yeah, but you can just say
Acme Symphony or
MSO. Acme.
Yeah.
How's the new?
We have a new conductor this year.
Conductor working out.
He is great. Yeah,
he's from Saint Oli.
He is recently retired orchestra director at St. Olaf College, which some of my siblings studied under, and
sure.
he is a great conductor. Really fun to work with.
Great.
The orchestra is sounding really good.
I wish I could go to the concert, but I can't because I'm rehearsing.
Sundays are bad for you, I know, and that's when we always. That's the problem with these community groups is they tend to play concerts on non-Fridays and Saturday night things. So it's usually Sundays.
I mean, some of the musicians are in other groups.
Oh no, it's
making
difficult.
some money.
So that's kind of the way it works, and that there's a lot of groups like that in the area.
So,
I'll be playing out of the Black Hills Symphony Orchestra.
Oh,
yeah, New Year's Eve.
That's kind of a pops thing usually.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're doing some music from Bridgerton, the TV show.
Oh, okay.
I don't know I've not watched it, but
I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know.
My wife Jody's probably seen some, but
yeah. I'll be curious to see what that's like.
I think if your dad was still alive, he'd throw in the bridge over the River Kwai.
Oh God, Bridgerton on the River Kwai.
No.
Title.
Okay. Ouch.
So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing. We're gonna go down and hang out with Matthew P. and his fine family this next week, Thanksgiving.
All right.
And we're getting ready to watch sometime before we leave our two holiday tradition TV things.
No,
we watch WKRP Turkeys Away.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of our favorites, and of course the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
One of the best ones.
Which may not be on network TV any this year, but I think there's some big.
I don't honestly know. Yeah.
Guffaw. There's something about it. It's available somewhere for free, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that remains one of the best ones.
Yeah, well, I got some gigs too.
Tell us more.
Well, the Apollo Club, men's chorus from 1859 or 1857, something like that. I should know. They always do a holiday concert.
You guys are old enough that Ken Burns could do a documentary about you.
Oh, if only. Yeah. Well,
Ken Burns, the Apollo Club.
Hey, Ken, if you're listening, actually there are more than one Apollo clubs out there.
Oh,
and so
it's like a franchise?
No, I don't. I
or
don't
like
know.
The Elks Club, or
I don't know. I think but somebody was in an Apollo club and then moved and started a new one somewhere else. That kind of thing. It's not exactly a chain. We don't have to pay 10% to the franchisee owner.
You have to have a little bell that goes ding.
Oh,
There's a little bell you have to put on the stage next to the American flag.
No, what was that? KDLB.
That was Club 14 radio.
Yeah, when we first moved
on
here.
AM of all things.
Oh, it was lovely.
Somebody should resurrect that as like an internet radio station.
I've thought about it, but I don't. As if I have all this free time.
Yeah.
But
anyway, then
I could bring back the Lincoln Dell too, so that would be good.
Oh, see that. I don't know why somebody hasn't resurrected the Lincoln Dell.
That would be a passion project, which was kind of like what we're going to talk about later on, but we won't get into that just yet. But somebody could make the Lincoln Dell as a passion project thing, and maybe it wouldn't cost $30 million. But so we always do a holiday concert, and there's a melody we do every year that's, I'm not going to say it gets all those songs out of the way. It's a nice medley, but the library, the Apollo Club library is so it's just huge, and all this old music, and it's the our director's really good too. Director, I'll just say conductor. Yeah, director is really good, and he'll get new things. We commissioned a new piece, a Jewish Hanukkah piece, and so that'll be. And John, last time I had a solo, I didn't tell you, and you were like, "Hey, I didn't know you were gonna have a solo." I will have at least a couple little solos.
Nice.
Maybe more. I'm not sure what's going on yet, but I don't want to just take over. No, I'm kidding.
You really don't want to.
No, there's a lot of
time now.
There's a lot of talent in this group, and anyway, so it's the concert is very eclectic. I will say eclectic, and a lot of diversity in the music too. So it isn't just like your old favorites, but you'll hear your favorites too in a medley. And so yeah, I don't know. Last holiday concert, I did a narration for a piece, and maybe I'll do one again this time. I don't know. We'll see. I auditioned. If I don't get it, I'll be sad. There's a spoken word kind of piece called A Cup of Christmas Tea. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's sort of famous in the older people circle, I guess. But it's a poem, and it's good. I was like, oh no, this is going to be really schlocky or something, but it actually. I don't know if I'm using the right words. Words are
hard.
I'm weaving, but I'm definitely doing something. I don't know what's going on, but it's actually a pretty good poem. So I think, and there's some stuff I can do with it. I didn't when I auditioned. I don't like to do a lot of listening to what other people did, and I'm just going to do kind of what I think it should be. But I did glance at a couple, and I think sometimes with this kind of thing, people it's like every word is precious kind of a thing, and the thing's like 8 minutes long, but I varied the tempo and that kind of thing, and I got it down to 6.5, kids. So that's what's going to be maybe I'll have to slow down a little bit. But people will be like, what, it's over already? That's my favorite. I think that is probably a favorite for a lot of people. So
Phil, this is like a medley?
Well, so we will do a medley, but a cup of Christmas tea is just it'll be just me talking if I get the part. If I get yeah. So I was a narrator in a different piece last year, but sing unto that wasn't it. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Whatever, Sing Unto God we're doing this year, which is one of those kind of It's not. I can't remember who did it, but it's got that handle kind of thing. It might be
Oh, like the Messiah.
Yeah, it's got those kind of things. I will sing better than that, but then with the Apollo Club on the 2nd of December, we're actually singing at Orchestra Hall. Apollo Club hasn't been at Orchestra Hall for a while.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
With part of this other stuff, and we've been invited to perform at Holodazzle. So I haven't been to Holodazzle since I worked downtown.
You mean you get on a parade float? Or?
Oh, fortunately, it's an indoor gig.
Oh, it's indoors. I don't know what that is anymore.
No, I think they have a parade, but they have like stages or something.
Okay, so you're not.
I haven't been there. I haven't been there since I worked downtown in the coffee shop.
Yeah, it used to be a much bigger deal.
But yeah, we're at the IDS Tower in the Crystal Court stage or something like that. So that'll be different.
The Crystal Meth stage, the Crystal Court.
We'll have a teeth grinding time. So there.
That's great.
Yeah. So I got some gigs too.
Excellent.
I'm not paying gigs, but that's fine.
Well, we're not in it for the money, are we?
That's true.
Good thing.
We're in it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in deep, man.
So speaking of Lincoln Dell, which was a very storied, I guess you can call it Jewish food.
Yeah. I mean, they had other things too, but
style
you can get
of
your matzo ball soup and
right, yeah, borscht and all the stuff. Do you have a favorite that's not out of business?
Do you mean a favorite
here in Minnesota? I mean,
a restaurant now that isn't out of business?
Yeah, that does that style of food.
Oh, I can't think of anything that does something like that. That was really unique. I mean, there are supper clubs and that kind of thing, but it isn't the same thing. I mean, if I was going to, I can't remember the name of it, but that, what's that place I think it's by Hamlin University or not Augustana. A sandwich place? Cecil's.
Oh,
Cecil's
they have that kind of food, yeah.
Yeah, if I was in the mood for that, I would go there.
I have never been there, but it's very.
Oh, geez, John. We'll go there someday. It's good. Good sandwiches.
Yeah. Over on the west side here, we have a place called Crossroads Deli, which I really like.
Oh, okay.
They have a lot of the same stuff, and they have the most amazing cabbage borscht. Yeah, that's good.
Ooh,
it's good
hungry.
food. Yep.
I'm getting hungry.
Really good,
hungry, man.
So anyway.
Speaking of hungry, so when you go down to Matthew P's, what kind of for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. What are we all doing for food?
The usual things.
I believe Mr.
different.
P is going to be smoking a turkey.
All right.
On his pellet grill. That's great. And I think there's some other non-smoked turkey option being done too.
Sure.
We're doing stuffing, mashed potatoes. Yeah. We're gonna probably buy some gravy.
Oh,
because smoked turkey, you don't really get the drippings for it, so it's hard to make.
Yeah.
One of the grocery store chains here does a really good turkey gravy that you can just buy jars of it and stuff.
Which store? Just in case I want to do that.
Lunds and Byerly's.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's in the deli section. It's really
and it's like
good.
in jars.
It's or like
heat it up?
plastic tubs. Yeah, you just heat it up.
Okay, I don't know. I might.
It's refrigerated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's not cheap, but it's probably, if you don't make your own, it's the next best thing.
I do make my own, but it's after a long day of cooking, and the turkey comes out, and you're trying to get all the timing, and people are coming in because they want to use the oven to heat up the buns or whatever they bring. Well, I am hosting this year, so.
Oh, good luck! Yeah,
we alternate, but and then it's like I'm tired and I gotta try to make the gravy, and I get a little anxious about making gravy. And I don't know what,
I think if
because
I
I
were
don't do
you,
it. I don't do it very often.
I would kind of as a backup get a couple of containers of this stuff just to have. And then, or if you don't have enough, you've got some extra you can mix in with it that's good, and people. Yeah.
My gravy's always turns out, but I just get kind of it's like I'm tired and get kind of anxious.
And there's often not enough of it, in my experience.
No,
because you want to dump it on everything, not just the potatoes.
I don't know why I get so anxious about it, because it's actually I make a lot, and I make and it tastes good. I don't know if it's as good as Lunds Byerly's.
Well,
maybe
it's probably better if you made it yourself. But this is just a great. If you
no
don't
one's
have,
ever complained.
If you don't have pan drippings, it's hard to make your own.
Yeah, well, this is going to be
so. But you must be doing a standard oven.
Yeah,
roasted. So, what is your preferred way of making Thanksgiving turkey?
Well, I like to roast it, and I started upside down for a while. Yep, I've heard of that. And just to make sure that the thighs and stuff, the dark meat down there can get a little bit of a head start on the getting up to temperature. Yeah, and then also the breast won't just dry out. Yep. Well, first I like to brine it overnight.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you do a brine. Yep.
You go back. I got to go backwards.
Time to brine.
I definitely like to brine it. In a cooler out in the garage.
Yep.
With some ice.
And this year it's going to be plenty cold for that. So.
Yeah, so it's all good. Maybe I won't even need to add ice this year. And it's in the garage, so the raccoons can't get it. Yeah, so then I roast it, I don't know for how long, hour, 45 minutes at least, upside down. And then to turn it over, though, that's kind of a pain in the butt. But, then you do that. That's basically, when you add the carrots and celery and onions, that kind of thing.
And do you put stuffing in the bird, or do you not do that? Okay. Yeah. No,
in fact, we're not doing stuffing this year. Somebody else is going to bring it. So.
Oh, that's nice.
It's we have kind of a tradition when we host. It's the family sits around a table and makes breadcrumbs to dry out overnight. But we're not going to do that this year.
Oh wow, yeah, we're lazy. We buy them.
Well, I'm thinking the turkey I got from the butcher, local butcher. And nice. it's gonna be really good, but it's a little on the small side. So I might also make like a turkey breast in a crock pot or something like that. I'm not sure. Just to make sure I have enough turkey.
Speaking of, I'm sounding like I'm plugging for a grocery store chain, but so the Lunds Byerly's thing. So,
well, you could just get all your stuff. They'll make it for you.
Well, they will, I'm sure, do that, but man, it's expensive. Every holiday season they do a bone-in turkey breast that's been pre-brined with seasonings and like apple cider and vinegar and stuff, and it's really, really good. And all you have to do is basically, take it out of the packaging and cook it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. That is amazing.
I'm gonna do that. I probably will do something like that in a crock pot just to make sure I have enough turkey. We'll see. Yeah, no, that sounds great. I've definitely
if I
had
a
smoker, I would love to have a smoker, but also I probably would still roast a small one.
That's the thing. Not everybody likes smoked turkey.
I love roasted turkey. But
and brining is great, of course. I've done what my family likes to do a lot, which they call the Martha Stewart method.
Oh.
Which it's been around forever, but
you spank it 5 times.
You spank it, and then you smoke a joint with it.
You have a Snoop come over.
The Snoop comes over, yeah. Woo. And yeah.
He was all over the Olympics. Did you catch any of that?
I watched a bunch of his. That was so fun.
That was wonderful.
Yeah,
anyway,
he was great.
Tangent alert.
I love Snoop.
What's that?
What you do, I don't even think it needs brining, although I think you can. You basically, I think you put butter under the skin
Oh, I do that too, even after I brine it.
But then you cover it in cheesecloth
Yeah.
that's been soaked in butter and white wine.
Okay.
And I think maybe some seasoning. I can't remember. I'd have to look. I haven't done it for a long time.
So this is so you don't have to flip the damn thing.
I think so. It protects.
It helps keep the breast.
Yeah, it does that, and you don't have to flip it. But and the cheesecloth kind of holds on to all that stuff, and then the wine butter mixture you take in a baster, and then you put you coat it as it cooks.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
Wow.
And it makes amazing gravy too.
Yeah. No,
I'll send you a link to it. It's there somewhere, but it is really tasty.
The way I do it is, it's really juicy and I probably overdo it. I probably wouldn't need to put butter under the skin also.
Oh no, I think it's a good idea.
If you brine, but it's good.
No, I think it also helps crisp up the skin.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Getting hungry. What else? What are the things you gotta have?
Since
some kind of corn casserole.
We're traveling, 3 hours to get there. Yeah. So, to grandmother's house we go, who lives in a condominium. I just think that is so funny. I get
and that huge station wagon where they're all in the back, and
that's the last line of the special. And Charlie Brown just says, she lives in a condominium. After they've been like, oh, we're going to grandmother's house and singing, and it's just perfect. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think we're going to make stuffings from scratch, which is I think it's got apple and and sausage.
Okay.
And all that
now
stuff.
We
it's
just did
really
like
good.
Bread and and sage and that kind of stuff. Butter.
Yeah. We do the you get the breakfast sausage, like the one in the tube. And
Jimmy Dean's.
Yep, you get the Jimmy Dean stuff, and you put a little bit of fruit and.
Oh, interesting. No, I gotta have it. So no fruit.
Yeah, we sometimes omit the fruit. I actually like it with apple and raisin, but
what I would like, I think, is to have the regular traditional for my family's stuffing, but also some of what you're talking about. Also, that would be really good. Yeah. I wouldn't want one or the other. I wouldn't be able to make up my mind.
No, because stuffing is some of the best thing. Yeah. I think so. Costco does during this time of the year, you can buy a really big container of like mashed potatoes that they made in the store.
Yeah,
and it's a really good deal, and you get a ton of it, and you can just bring that, and they're good.
Yeah,
So I think we're just going to bring that, and it's a huge time saver.
I was going to do something like that, but actually, my brother Blake and his wife Kristen come over from and Ronan show up from Wisconsin, Waukesha, and they make the mac and cheese. I'm sorry. Oh, I bet we'll have some of that too. Well,
sure.
The mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, Joey, we never had mac and cheese for Thanksgiving, but she usually makes that too. We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Plenty of starches. We got to have starches.
Then we'll, of course, get
pies.
My favorite $5.99 giant Costco pumpkin pie, which I think I talk about every year now.
I know,
but they're great.
It's giant,
and really for me, there isn't not a better one. Sorry.
My youngest daughter will make something. She likes to bake, and she might want to do that for a living. We're not sure. We went to an open house at St. Paul College for their culinary arts program, and wow, that is really something.
No, that's a great thing to be into. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty intense. I don't know if she'd
Well, don't let her watch The Bear.
Well, I mean, I think she knows that
No,
that
I'm
business is even if you're just running a little bakery or something, it can be, it can be pretty intense.
No, that's great.
One thing she's talked about, she's really good in the literary arts or whatever they call it. What we just call it reading, I don't know, but she's really good at that. So she's kind of talked about maybe combining those two things and being like a culinary reporter or something like that, or writer. I can't think of the right word.
A food critic?
Well, she didn't use that. She went food.
Everybody's a food critic.
Food reporter, I guess.
Yeah. Professional Yelp reviewer.
Who knows, right? Maybe.
Goes by the name of Karen.
I want to talk to the manager section of the show.
It is the whole show. Yeah.
I probably told this joke before, but when I speaking of Holodazzle, when I managed the coffee shop back in the old days, something happened, and the lady said, "I want to talk to the manager," and I said, "I am the manager," and she left. So,
well, that taught her a lesson. All the employees should just say that.
It's a co-op, though.
We have no manager. We're an autonomous collective.
We're a collective. We're all the manager.
And
What
so
were
are
you gonna
you. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, you're the
Can
manager.
I complain to you?
Hi. I don't like your tone.
I don't like your tone. It's very disrespectful.
Fine. I interrupted you.
No, I was gonna mention that we're starting to talk a little bit about future directions for this particular podcast.
Yeah. Well,
And I don't think we're going to get into it today, but we're discussing maybe making some changes or something like that.
we're coming up to episode 100.
100 is going to be huge. So just stay with us a little bit longer. It's going to be epic.
And it won't. I doubt there'll be anything drastic changes.
No.
We'll all be recording without wearing pants. That's going to be the only change.
How do you know we're not? No. Okay, shall we talk about the movie we watched?
Well, when you were talking about Charlie Brown, and I've never thought of it this way, but do you think South Park is sort of the Charlie Brown of the? Gosh, it started in the 90s or something, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think they've done 26 seasons. They must have been. I don't know if they were. I've never thought of the. It doesn't seem like there's a really direct connection to Charlie Brown at all, except they're kids.
There's probably some satire but because they're these little not very life-size looking kids with big heads, and
I'm sure those two guys are. I'm sure they reference it sometimes. They reference everything, but
Trey
and whatever.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the two.
Yep.
I'm not much of an expert on South Park because
I never really got into it.
Bulk of the show I have not seen.
It's funny when I've seen it, but I never watched it.
Yeah. I think I watched the first couple of seasons pretty often. It was just so new and kind of fresh at the time, and
edgy.
And at the time, they were doing it all by hand, which was kind of wild. I think it's all computer done now, but it was just it was really, really different. And
I can't believe it's still going.
It's wild that it's kind of Simpsons like in that way, I guess.
Well, I don't know what season they're on. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not up with them.
But like Family Guy, that's been on forever too.
Is that still on too?
Sure, I'm sure it is.
Wow.
These things never die.
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah, we both watched so
Not
many.
South Park, but
I don't know what I'm trying to think of. I meant to look it up, but in one of our episodes, we talked about Casa Bonita.
we did. I should probably look it up, but maybe I'll look it up and the narrator can.
We can link it in the notes or something.
Well, you talked about it more than once, probably. I know in episode 6, probably that one back in 2019. All roads lead to Casa Bonita in 2020 with Glenda M. Yes, that was episode 48. Probably some other times too. They're not a sponsor either.
We did talk about Casa Bonita.
Was that with Glenda?
Might have been. I mean, it was probably around the time that there was news about it being bought by Parker and Stone.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
And so what we're going to talk about a little bit
Now
is
coming full circle again, we're going to talk about it.
this documentary that came out earlier this year, I think. It's what, Casa Bonita d'Amore or something like that.
Mi Amor.
Amor.
It's not Italian.
Oh, should have been Italian. Yeah. And
Mussolini
a
is
documentary
looking
about
better.
how they Mussolini is looking better, on how they the history of the place, and it's a fairly straightforward documentary, kind of behind the scenes, and how they rebuilt it and reopened it, all that stuff.
I appreciated that they talked about the history.
They had some good material, like all the
Yeah.
I mean, Ricardo Montalban did a spot for that restaurant at one time. That was like, oh, that's great.
Well, and so, in the Black Hills and Rapid City, we got that one channel, WGN or whatever it was.
Well, if you had cable, you had all the Denver TV channels.
Well, yeah, but there was the one that was the best one we've talked about on the show.
KWGN Channel 2.
Yeah, that we've talked about before.
They were the coolest channel because they were Channel 2.
So we got those. We got some of those commercials. I think I remember the Ricardo Montalban one.
I don't remember. I remember the jingle from the commercials, but I do not remember Ricardo Montalban being plugging that place.
I could be wrong. I was, because I was always into voices, and I always loved his voice and the fine Corinthian leather.
Oh yeah.
So when he was on
Crystal Key Protection.
When he was on Wrath of Khan, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. But anyway.
Why are you here? Okay. Yeah. So
wonderful.
anyway, it's fun. I right now it's streaming on Paramount Plus, and it's just a really pretty. It seems honestly put together. I mean, it is what it is, right? But these two put a ton of their own money into this place, which
and just and sweat and tears.
yeah. The place was in awful condition. The previous owners really just let it go, and
not the original owners.
No, it was sold to some big company, of course,
who just deferred maintenance, which we know about when we work at universities, but that's different. But
just didn't keep anything up. It was in awful condition, and the food was notoriously bad.
Yeah, but I don't think people were going there for the food, but
yeah, I do remember going there, and it was kind of. I honestly don't remember the food much at all. It probably didn't matter. It was like
when I was a kid, it was like
back in the 80s when I'd go there, it was like. Eh.
I mean, my Mexican food was Taco John's. That's all I knew.
Yeah. Or speaking of Rapid City stuff, which if my mom is listening, she'll shed a tear at this. But the late great
Casa del Rey,
which was kind of the favorite local sit down Mexican,
sure,
Tex-Mex, whatever it was.
That was better than Casa Bonita.
Oh, I think their food was, but it was kind of in the same vein, that same. I think
here's
it was better
the cheese
quality, but they had a lot of the same stuff. Believe it or not, there is still a Casa del Rey in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
John, I don't know. I think I read something about that was closing too.
It reopened though.
Oh, Oh,
Yep.
never mind.
Yep. I think somebody bought it, reopened it. I've my mom has been there since they reopened. So
Probably on some. She's one of those all-state orchestra tours or something.
exactly. Yeah. So anyway, the food was always mass-produced, shitty.
It was a magical place, though.
Yeah, I still remember. And the funniest part was that when they're describing it, because they had a little clip of Parker and Stone, I think it was after maybe Book of Mormon came out or something like that.
Yeah, they took the cast there.
Yeah, and they had footage from that, and one of them said, like, the smell of refried beans and chlorine. which just got me right there. I remember that. I remember that
because
smell.
memories and smell and that go hand in hand.
Yeah,
so.
those weird dark little cul-de-sacs and caves and stuff, and the smell.
Yeah,
those are the things that stuck with me.
And evidently we were breathing in some who knows what from the ducks.
And I think it was the last time we were there, it was probably not as bad as like in the 90s or 2000s, because it didn't close till like 2020.
I can't remember the last time I was there. It was when I was living with you and Lynn and Laramie, Wyoming.
So
my dad brought my brothers out, and we all went to Casa Bonita.
So like that would have been 91 or 90 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
And I just remember thinking, this is not as big as I thought it was.
That's very true. Yeah.
We talked about this before.
Totally. But the documentary was really fun. If you have any nostalgia for this place at all, or you like those shows where they rebuild failing businesses and clean them up, but it's all really fun to watch. And
I don't know, there's some line in there like, this is like Kitchen Nightmares,
exactly,
times 12 or whatever.
There's a lot of that. You get to see them finding all the horrible things buried in the utility systems and
well, and how dangerous the pools were for the divers.
That's also
the electrical was like right there, and
it was just horrible
and claustrophobic, and they had to come out this weird little hole, and
yeah.
So they basically, it was a passion project, and they got like a real cook, an executive chef, and
did some real Mexican food, and I think they probably still have some of the, what my wife likes to call slop on a plate Mexican.
Sure.
That's there too. Yeah, it's obviously.
Do you still put the flag up though? I don't know.
That I don't know. Yeah. Someday I'm going to go there.
I want to go. I really would like to go again.
We need to make a call.
But I don't know how it's working. It was like on a lottery or something. It's not probably like something
we'll be able to get in by the time we're able to get there.
They may have, if I remember correctly, they may have just started having it.
I think you can actually reserve something.
But yeah, you'd have to wait in line a while.
Yep. So that a fun documentary. Definitely watch it. There and of course they reference an episode of South Park, which I think 2003 was when it came out, something like that.
Episode 107, I believe,
where Cartman is obsessed with going to Casa Bonita. I did watch that episode, which I'm sure maybe I saw originally. Who knows? It's 21 years ago, but. Yeah, very very funny how he schemes and everything to get to Casa Bonita, and then at the end he does get to go, which they show a clip of in the documentary.
It was very funny.
The episode is very good actually. I think it's worth watching the whole episode because it's really funny. But they really they covered all the bases. I mean. You could tell they wanted to make sure that they represented it well.
Yeah, what a strange. Well, yeah, and they didn't just put a lot of money into the thing, but that Matt Stone was the main guy. Trey was just kind of along for the ride. Not really. He helped too with the money and all that, but who was the one that was spearheading it the most.
So I think that's Trey.
I got it backwards.
Trey is the one who is more into it, and
Matt was
Matt Stone is a little less.
Yeah, he was. It wasn't like kind of obsessed, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
they put a lot of their own effort into it. They recorded the voices for some of the animatronic things that they and they rebuilt a lot of things from scratch, which was really cool.
And they like got scripts and they worked with the actors and I was like, wow, what a weird gig that would be,
Yeah, there's a little bit of it kind of makes you think just how much work it is at like theme parks like Disney and places like that, and how good those people are.
Yeah.
Watching them struggle even with these relatively small scale things that they have to get, and how difficult it is.
I mean, it's basically like a smaller Disney and Mexican themed place in Denver in a strip mall.
Right.
But yeah, I have nostalgic memories of that too. I went there a couple times when I was a kid, and
I pretty much only went there on like band trips. That was the times I remember going there.
Well, we had some family that lived in Denver. I probably talked about that too. I don't know.
Yep. I did not end up going to Denver, except lots of band trips.
One of my great aunts lived there, so we would go visit. We went and visited a couple times.
At Casa Bonita.
I wonder. I should have asked my younger brothers what they remember from that. But
yeah, you should.
We all went. That was kind of a bonding moment, I guess. My dad decided to come out to Laramie with my brothers, and then we went to Denver from there and went there again. And we also saw that movie, The Naked Lunch, at some after eating at some. Maybe I've told this story before, but we found some kind of hole in the wall place to eat before going to this. It was like an art theater.
Yeah, that would have been. Mm-hmm.
And this really tired guy, I mean, I don't know, he must work just all the time. And he was like, he just kind of sat beside us and had his hand on his head, and he had his notepad and a pencil, and it was like I don't know, maybe a southern sort of diner kind of place. And I was like, what's hominy? And he kind of like, it's like a corn. He was so tired. He was like, I don't want to talk to this white guy, but whatever. But I mean, and then we went to see Naked Lunch. It was like, this is the weirdest movie. But have you ever seen that movie?
Naked Lunch?
Yeah.
I saw it when it came out, I think, or on a video maybe. But yeah, I remember it.
Oh,
it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Have you seen anything else good lately?
Oh, I have not been watching much.
Yeah,
to be honest, I've been sort of. I'm not even on YouTube as much.
You want to talk about our going to the beat show? Have we talked about that? We haven't talked about that since we went, right?
Oh, see, that's the thing. We
almost need Sean here for that, but
yeah, we record so infrequently that I can't remember what we would have talked about that in the last episode if we had one.
Briefly explain what beat.
What? Well, first off, what episode are we on?
87.
90. 97.
97, sorry.
We're almost to 100. Oh, yeah. So beat.
97, yes.
So I'm on the Adrian Blue mailing list, or I don't know. It's not mail anymore. I used to be on the mailing list, but now it's, I don't know, Facebook or something. But got a special code. This was a long time ago. I think it was Was it shortly after we saw Peter Gabriel with Tony Levin and all that?
Yes, I think it's around that. So
and I think it was almost right after that. I got this thing, a secret code to get, not secret code, whatever. But
early access.
Early
ticket buying
access.
thing.
Thank you. And I was
It's like being in the really white old guy Taylor Swift fan club kind of thing.
except it's Adrian Belew, but
Right.
yeah. So, and I don't know. I think Sean said yes, and you weren't sure, but I ended up getting 3 tickets anyway because I figured out I'll figure out what to do with the 3rd ticket later. But because I know you're not. You're a 2011 fan, of course, but
Yeah, why don't you explain what the concert is, though?
well, it's basically 2011. Adrian Belew we're both in the 80s King Crimson, and Robert Fripp,
the famous progressive rock
sure
group. Yeah,
I mean,
that's been
they
around
span
since the late 60s.
many decades. But Adrian Belew in 2011 showed up there in in Bill Bruford. Was that his name?
That's Bill Bruford, yeah, the famous guy from
drummer.
Yes.
Yeah. So they did some of these. I don't know. I would call it more like heavy on the math music, but very intricate.
I think if you the way to describe
Dance.
it, if you find groups like Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, that kind of stuff, if you find that too pop oriented or mainstream, you should probably check these guys out.
Yeah. So Adrian Belew, so he's been in he's been in a lot of different things. He's been with Frank Zappa, David Bowie, Talking Heads, and but he's done these. And I went with Sean to see a David Bowie. What do they call those?
Is it a tribute band?
Tribute band, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like a really elevated. I'm losing words, but what's it called when a band just, because there is a Talking Heads
cover band?
A cover band.
Yeah.
It's like this really elevated cover band kind of thing because there's people that were actually in it. So we saw that, but then they get other big artists to come along too. And then we saw a Talking Heads tribute with that had Jerry Harrison and Adrian Belew. Sean and I saw that at First Avenue. And so that I think the success of those two things, Adrian Belew got this idea to redo the music of King Crimson from the 80s when he was there. And, he approached Robert Fripp. And I don't know. He was like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
but
I'm 100 years old. Why I don't
you
want to
have-
go on
you-
tour.
But you have my blessing if you want to do it. And he probably makes some money too.
I'm sure.
But
Robert Fripp is the founder or something like that of that group. And I think he wrote a lot of the material, and he kind of owns the group and a lot of the material. So
yeah, he's the main guy. So you want to get his blessing. But so then they had to find somebody. Rick Beato has an interview with all the 4 guys. Bill Bruford didn't want to do it or either.
he's pretty old.
Yeah.
That stuff's hard to play.
And being a drummer, I'm guessing it's pretty hard on your body. I think it's a little different. Now, with your fingers, you might get arthritis and that kind of thing. But
Yeah, lots of things. Yeah.
but drumming, it's so physical.
Yeah.
Anyway, in 2011, it's like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. And they found Stevie Vai would do the. Robert Fripp said, yeah, I think he's the only guy that could play my parts on this. And now, shoot, I'm blanking on the drummer's name. He's from Tool or something, isn't
Danny.
Danny Elfman.
His name is Danny, I think. I can't remember that guy's name.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, the narrator will help.
Yeah. Burp.
Oh, excellent drummer, though.
Yeah, he's great.
And anyway, so, okay, blah, blah, blah.
You can go look them up. Yeah.
We went and went to the concert, and yeah, I mean, I think basically when I had to go during intermission, I went to the bathroom, and the line for the men's room was all the way up the stairs. This is an older theater, the State Theater.
Yep.
Seats are meant for people when they were smaller, and Americans are just too big for those seats now. But we're not time to lean. But the line, the women's, the line for the women's restroom was nothing. There was no one there. So I mean, so there were some women in the audience, but yeah, it was a good show. I mean, well, what did you think? You never got really into you never really got into the 80s King Crimson.
No. I might have heard the famous, it's called In the Court of the Crimson King. I think it's from 69. Different people in it except Fripp, and it's almost a different band really. And I don't think I know that one very well. A lot of it didn't grab me that much, but and then the stuff they basically played from 3 1980s King Crimson albums.
Yeah, which I don't think I've heard the third one.
No, I had not heard a single tune from any of these albums, so I went into this show not knowing the music at all, which I could have probably done a little homework and done that, but it was interesting to hear it fresh like that. And
yeah,
from what I can tell, going back and sampling some of them, I think they stuck pretty close to the records.
Yeah,
it's very if you've heard this stuff or go sample it on YouTube, whatever, you'll figure out very quickly it's very, very complicated music.
Very complicated. My
Tons,
God.
I mean, weird time to signatures and lots of effects and just it's really, really hard stuff to play. And I know they said they took months of rehearsal to put it all together. Even though two of them had played it originally on the records, but
they had to relearn
decades and decades ago. I came away. I don't know how much I love the material. Some of it was cool.
It's not accessible.
It's not, and I would have to
now. Some of it is, but
and really, when I reviewed the recordings a little bit, it kind of struck me. And this is a very obvious thing to say, but because of Adrian Belew is very associated with Talking Heads and the new wave style of 80s music.
Yeah.
That this sounds like Talking Heads up a notch. Almost like, why didn't they just make a super group and put David Byrne doing the singing? And it would have been just over the top. But it's very, very. I mean, just this. Some of it was just impressive to watch how they were able to do all this stuff. That Steve Vai guy doing these things with the guitar I've never heard before. These weird sounds with the feedback and the weird little effects that he was able to do. And it's not a computer generated thing, even though there's a lot of synths and other things in there. But he was doing that stuff to the guitar.
Yeah, amazing.
And it was just in doing it live like that. And Tony Levin, of course, is kind of one of the best bassists in the world. On the electric, all the different electric bass variants. He did about 3/4 of the show on the Chapman stick, which is wild.
Yeah, he brought out those finger things, whatever those are called.
Yeah, on the regular electric bass, those big sticks he plays. To do all that tapping stuff and. The guy's amazing, even though he's in his 70s.
And he sings.
Yeah, and he can sing and played little guitar. Or not,
backup.
He did some keyboard stuff on the side.
He's got, sometimes he was playing bass and the keyboard at the same time. And I was like, what the
And if you don't know what the Chapman stick is, go look it up. It's like this weird kind of tap style guitar bass combo thing. If it has a gazillion strings and you can play bass lines and upper register melodic stuff at the same time with both because you're kind of tapping on the fingerboard with it. It's really to call it a bass is not really correct.
It's a combo thing.
It's
a
more,
weird hybrid.
But it can go all the way down into the bass registers, but you can play really high up because it's got all those strings and this big ass fingerboard that, it takes a different type of technique to play than anything else.
Well, because basically you're playing guitar and bass at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost a keyboard,
like a lead guitar.
Yeah.
But so in a way, I mean, there's like 3 extremely talented guitarists,
right?
And
the drummer was fantastic. He
wow.
did a lot of cool stuff, and again, there's a ton of electronics being done in this show and everything, but they were playing a lot of it live, and that kind of blew me away on just watching all the work that went into it, and so that was fun. I appreciate you asking me along.
So
for that.
another labor of love, right? Because it's like Casa Bonita, let's bring that back, and then let's bring back this.
I mean, this is a complicated really niche of a niche. It's not only just King Crimson's a niche, and then one particular phase of King Crimson from the 80s.
It's a niche of a niche. But everyone when I was waiting in line to go to the bathroom, I mean, I think they were all musicians.
I think there are a lot of music people in
they're like talking about one guy was a session musician. I was overhearing his conversation, and he I don't know, he worked in Florida for a while or something. I mean, it was just, I don't know what percentage.
Yeah, it's definitely a music nerd style group of people.
And it's not something I'm gonna listen to that every day, all day long.
No.
But I mean, the other thing Adrian Blue did do with this somehow is he would come up with melodies and lyrics, and I'm not sure he wrote everything. I don't know, but it's very clearly. I've listened to his solo albums and that kind of thing too. I'm an Adrian Blue fan. I'm not unabashed, but he got melodies and he made some of it more accessible, I guess is what I'm saying. And I won't say poppy necessarily. I think maybe they had one hit from that era, but maybe more than one. Not everyone could come up with lyrics and melodies to that music. I mean, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that stuff is it is what it is, but really fun to see it played live like that, and it was good.
No, I couldn't. My mind was just, I couldn't get to sleep. I mean, it was like,
and more stuff in the 7/8 time signature at one evening than I've ever had.
That was one thing I commented on Facebook. It's like I don't need to hear 7/8 for a while again, but wow.
Yeah, that was great.
It was really fun to watch though. I'm glad I went. And the David Bowie tribute thing, that was pretty good too. And the Talking Heads thing we saw, that was good too. I don't know. I think I've seen Adrian Blue live more than anyone else in the past how many ever years, but
you're a super fan.
I got to see him at the Turf Club, which is a smaller venue.
Yeah.
He opened his solo tour at that time at the Turf Club, actually. That was the first gig, so that was kind of cool. What have you been watching? Have you been watching anything?
Not a whole lot. Let's see. Yeah, we finished the current season of Only Murders in the Building, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And that was good. I'm really enjoying the show The Old Man. That's another that came back this year.
Yeah. I remember I watched the first one. I was like, this is good.
The second season's really good as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I love Jeff Bridges
and John Lithgow.
He's
in a lot of the second season too.
I was like,
that's great.
I know this is going to be a good show, but I never kept watching it. But I saw the first one. Yeah.
It's well worth. It's not. Again, it's one of those not very long, like not a ton of episodes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not watched a lot of movies though lately. I should get back to that.
So April and we watch anime together, as I've mentioned. Our current one we're watching is Dan, which is a weird anime. Well, they're all weird, but I think I don't need to say weird when I talk about it. But I don't even know how to describe it. But basically, this young boy gets cursed, and a ghost of some sort takes away his penis and his testicles, and he has to try to get them back.
Isn't that one of the songs in The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway?
What? Maybe.
where the protagonist gets his schlong cut off and has to go,
I don't remember
and then it
that.
gets carried away by a bird or something.
Speaking of prog rock,
I'm sorry.
I don't remember that. I need to listen to it again.
I think that's
Peter Gabriel was so weird. He always is.
Was on mushrooms and
Well, then there's the.
So anyway, sorry.
It's like the detachable penis song, I guess too.
It's a connection.
I guess maybe that's the theme throughout the years of. Who knows? It's probably gone back to ancient Greece.
Losing my religion.
Losing my penis. Fine. That won't be the song.
Yeah. We can't top what's the material that's out there.
Losing my penis. No.
Aw.
Well, fine. Thanks, John.
Yeah,
It's always a pleasure.
we'll get there. We got to get to 100.
Yeah. Well, and then after that, I don't know. Well, maybe we're gonna have a board meeting.
Yes.
Here's a board.
Where all the stakeholders will get together.
I don't know if you have any ideas or whatever. Yeah, let us know. DM us.
On
Dungeon
what?
Master us.
Dungeon Master. Drop us a line at
Roll a 100
Time to
die.
Lean Facebook.
Roll a 100 die, and then for initiative.
Roll for initiative. We need to roll for initiative.
We're gonna.
I've been getting ones. Or is it 6? Maybe a ones means you go first. I've been rolling a 6.
Once we
I gotta
retire
rock.
in 10 to 12 years, whatever, we'll have more time.
Well, speak for yourself.
No, yeah. You might not get to.
I don't think I get to. Yeah.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Fine.
Good night, Phil. That's going home with me.
You spank it 5 times.
And then you have smoke a joint with it.
Here's the song!
The turkey smoked, and you are sauced. Will it turn out? Your fingers crossed. Simply having a wonderful Thanksgiving. Simply having a wonderful Thanksgiving. The bird is stuffed, soon you'll be too. The goal's to fill your motley crew. And not to talk about politics. Changing the subject is in your bag of tricks. Simply having a wonderful Thanksgiving. Simply having a wonderful Thanksgiving. Ding, ding, dong, dong. Ding, ding, dong, dong. Ding. The moon is high, and so are you. The guests are gone, nothing left to do. Ding, ding, dong, dong. Ding, ding, dong, dong. Ding. We simply had a wonderful Thanksgiving.